Hi, I'm Marcia Davenport.
And I'm Allison Deerstein. And boys and girls, we have a question for you that we want you to answer out loud. Can you name a Black American hero?
Now, did you say Dr. Martin Luther King? We all know who that is. So we'd like to introduce you to our book that talks about 28 Black American heroes that you probably haven't heard of yet. Let's get started.
Carter G. Woodson realized to most Black heroes were a mystery. So thanks to him, every February, we celebrate Black history.
Monet Davis was the only girl on a Little League baseball team. She set new records at 13, the All-American Dream.
Charlotte E. Ray had quite a career. Howard U. was her employer. She disguised her gender to get into law school and was the first Black woman lawyer.
We thank Josephine Ruffin. She worked, marched, and wrote. And thanks to her efforts along with others, women were given the vote.
Slave Henry Box Brown put himself in a crate to be mailed to the North, and then, when he arrived, he greeted his friends. How do you do, gentlemen?
Inventor William Henry Clean put emergency brakes inside trains. He also made the first hospital beds so patients could sit up without strain.
Explorer Matthew Henson traveled to a frozen land. He learned from the natives, and on the North Pole, he was the first to stand.
Susie King Taylor was the first Black nurse for the Union she faithfully served. She worked hard to heal Black soldiers without the pay that she deserved.
Alexander Miles was an inventor of elevator doors that could slide. Their automatic closing made them safe to ride.
George Washington Bush was a pioneer who settled in the Northwest. He built a hotel where he gave free meals and lodging to all his guests.
Daniel Hale Williams operated on a wounded man's open heart. It was the very first time that surgery worked because he was so smart.
Talented Elizabeth T. Greenfield could sing both soprano and bass. Called the Black Swan, she traveled the world singing all over the place.
Benjamin Banneker was super smart. By the stars, he mapped out D.C. He wrote guidebooks for farmers and fishermen at sea.
Annie Malone saw that there were no products to straighten Black hair. She made a recipe for new products, making it easy for proper care.
Jan Ernst Matzelinger made a machine for shoe factories to use. He sped up the process that once took so long, attaching soles to shoes.
Trailblazer Sophia Dannenberg went out on a quest. With stinging lungs and frostbite, she reached the top of Everest.
James McCune Smith was the first Black American with a medical degree. He was also the first Black American to open a pharmacy.
We thank Emma A.S. Hackley, a singer and musician who taught others about her culture and made it her whole life's mission.
Clara Brown was born a slave, was freed, then traveled west. In Colorado, she gave much. By giving, she was blessed.
Warren Shadd is a musician who was in a jazz band. He made a new piano and owns his special brand.
Elizabeth J. Graham got kicked off a trolley, all because of her race. She went to court to set things right, and she won the case.
Charlotte Fortin kept a diary of her days in the Civil War. She taught ex-slaves, and through her we learn education can open a door.
Sergeant William Carney in the Civil War was found, waving the flag, exclaiming with pride, the flag never touched the ground.
Norbert Rilliot was an engineer who crafted a new machine that improved the way sugar was made to be safe, pure, and clean.
Harriet Powers was born a slave and through quilting did her part to tell stories of local legends and the Bible through her art.
Chef George Speck had a picky customer who didn't like thick fries. George made the first chips when he cut them so thin. Best potatoes he ever tried.
Ernest Green went to a white high school and helped them to integrate. He was the very first one of the Little Rock Nine to go on to graduate.
Teacher Charlotte Lottie H. Brown raised money for her school. She taught her students that they would do well to follow the golden rule.
So all of these people are heroes.
And you can be a hero too, just like courageous Elizabeth Jennings Graham or clever George Speck. We all should know our heroes. Some of them are famous and some of them are not.
Our heroes may look like us, and it's good to have heroes that don't look like us too.
So boys and girls, turn to the adult that's with you right now and talk about your favorite heroes. We hope you've discovered some new ones today. Thank you for listening to our stories.